Well, good morning and welcome to CityLine. It is truly today a privilege to be in your home given these crazy days that we are having. So thank you so much for tuning in. We are live every Thursday morning and we have a great show ahead of you. If I could name this show, I would call it the Feminist Quattro. I have 4 women who are either executive directors or are in charge of here to talk about day to day, how do we come together? How do we make the best use of our resources given the virus and how we are trying to flatten the curve? Later on in the hour, we'll be talking with the superintendent of Tacoma Schools, Carla Santorno. We'll be here to talk about what she knows to be true today, some questions that I'm sure many parents and students have on their mind and what we can do to help her. Then the Center for Dialogue and Resolution, Marilise Hood-Kwan, is here to talk about what they do, how we weather conflict during this time, and what we can do to stay connected with each other even though we are socially distancing. Emergency Food Network is here to talk about meals for those who are the most food insecure. How are we getting food to our assisted lunch students? And so she is here with some heavy lifting to do. Humane Society is here. They have Autumn in the house, so Victoria will be crawling on to the studio with our pet of the week. And right now with me, I have somebody who I always felt so honored that within her first month here in Tacoma, she landed on my couch. And since then, she has done nothing but impress. I'm talking about Jackie Flowers. Jackie Flowers, you are the director of Tacoma Public Utilities. My goodness, the huge weight on those slim shoulders is pretty amazing given today and what we are waking up to. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Amanda.
Oh, my pleasure. You have a permanent spot on this couch. So let's talk about this. What is Tacoma Public Utilities doing right now to help customers during this state of emergency? Because it changes every day.
Yeah, it really does. It's amazing when you think back a couple weeks ago how much our lives have changed in just that short amount of time. About a month ago, we started our continuity of operations planning just to think about if this would elevate to a pandemic, what we would need to do. In particular, everything has been internal facing until last week. And really what that means is focusing on how we keep the water on and safe, and how we keep the power on and safe, and how we keep the trains running at the tide flats, and keep our employees safe and our customers safe. And then last week, as we started to see emergency declarations and a quickly changing dynamic in our community, the team put their heads together and came up with a concept. And I'm pleased to report that on Tuesday, our Public Utility Board authorized us to make $1 million available for emergency assistance program to help our customers that are struggling right now with this financial hardship. That, in addition to Mayor Woodard's on Tuesday with the emergency declaration, postponed any shutoffs for any power, water, sanitation, storm sewer, garbage collection for any of those fees through the state of emergency. She's the only one in our governance structure who has the ability to postpone any sort of disconnects. So that went into effect on Tuesday as well. And really the team has been working tirelessly, nonstop. They had a crazy weekend putting all of this together, trying to think of creative solutions to help our customers and to just provide a little bit of a relief valve. We know we can't do everything. There are a lot of needs and a lot of pressures in the community, but what's the meaningful relief valve that we can provide to our customers right now?
Beautifully said, and that is exactly what you have done. My head spun at the swiftness that Tacoma Public Utilities responded. I mean, it just was like, get it done was across the whole organization, and we woke up on Monday to relief. So let's talk about what does the new emergency assistance program cover, and then who's eligible, Jackie?
Yeah, perfect. So I was pleased you had Holly on here, it was a few weeks ago.
Amazing.
Yeah, to talk about our income assistance programs. We've got a really good, strong suite of programs. And so if nothing else comes out of this, hopefully folks will have a better understanding of what we provide available at all times. But we've ramped it up. We've enhanced our offerings. We now are extending the criteria to qualify for that income assistance. We've our typical programs have been 150% of the federal poverty level. Now we're at 200%.
Okay.
And that's going to substantially increase the number of customers that are eligible for that. They will qualify for, depending on the number of services, we have some customers that are power only, some that are water only, some that are 5 services. Most of the city of Tacoma get power, water, and then environmental services, surface water, stormwater, and garbage recycling. So depending on the number of services that you have, and whether you are in an apartment or a single family home, that will determine what level of credit you get on your bill.
Okay.
But we'll just say we can see up to a $250 credit go on to customers' bills. And I would say, even if folks have looked into the programs before or never looked into the programs, take a minute and look into them.
Yes.
Because with this change in poverty guidelines, it's going to open up opportunities for folks that haven't. And we're really hoping, those folks that have quickly been, laid off, or doors of small businesses have closed, that they'll take a minute and help their employees think about this. I don't have all the criteria, but you can find it on our website, mytpu.org. But for a household of 4, maximum monthly income of $4,300 could qualify for a credit.
Wow, that's great.
So we've stretched that number, and I would just encourage folks to just take a minute and look into it. We don't have a termination date on the program right now, so it is likely that the program will continue to run beyond the state of emergency. Hopefully we get through this quickly. And really, with us not having disconnects right now, we've extended the typical payment time frame. Bills are due in 15 days now.
Right.
We're looking at that anyway. But we've extended an opportunity for customers to have a 12-week payback period right now.
Wonderful.
And we'll just continue to watch that. Both the postponement of disconnects and the 12-week extension will be eligible to our business customers as well.
Okay.
But when it comes to the actual emergency assistance program, that will be residential only. And again, if you don't get in the queue right away, we'll be able to do that retroactively. Right. That credit will go to your bill. So as long as we've got money and as long as we've got need, we'll just keep assessing where we're at and make adjustments as we need to.
I'm sitting here, I'm having a flashback of Holly when she was on the couch. And I asked her, what's the worst thing that we can do? And she said, ignore the problem. Because she said, she's like, pick up the phone, call us, don't be afraid. Mm-hmm. If you are struggling with eating or energy assistance, call us. And that same feeling is coming back now, where people may have applied before, or they may think that I make too much money, but at least look into it, I hear you saying, and start the ball rolling. Yeah. Because it's there. This is all about residential. Let's talk about, what about businesses that have been impacted? Because I don't know of a business right now that is not changing daily how they look.
It's been so dramatic to see how much our business community has changed in just a short few days.
Yes.
Small businesses in particular,
Yes.
That's kind of the heart and soul of Tacoma.
It
right?
is.
We've
It's
got
what we do.
so many unique places that we're seeing the doors close on, and all of us, it's an uncertain time for everybody. And we're doing what we can there. Again, as I mentioned, we've got the extended payment plans for them, and the postponement of disconnects that will also try to help them. Although they don't qualify for our income assistance right now, I know the city is definitely stepping up in a big way. Mayor Woodards has launched a number of initiatives in concert with the work of the EDB, the Economic Development Board, and the Chamber of Commerce. They're all rallying really hard together to find solutions. I would encourage folks to visit the makeItTacoma.com website, where they've got a lot of information. And, as for those of us that are still in the community able to do so, let's support our small business, right?
Oh my gosh,
Let's
yes.
order our carry out. Let's
Yes.
buy gift cards for people
Yes.
for later. Let's really rally together and help support that community as best we can.
Oh, I agree. I told her I was going to mention this, and you just gave me a great segue. Sue Kidd, our former, food critic for the Tacoma News Tribune, now has a Facebook page that has almost every restaurant that will do takeout or delivery, because we're all trying to come together. So I love that you're thinking about that as well. Let's talk about, in these last 3 minutes here, let's talk about the 1,400 employees at TPU. Yeah. How are they affected by this?
This team is amazing. They are so resilient, and they have been so adaptable. And really, we can't see changes coming before they're there.
Right.
And so of the 1,400 employees, a little less than half are field crews. And so, these are the folks that truly are keeping keeping the power on and the water safe, and the water is safe.
Thank you. Good.
You do not need
Drinking
to buy
water's
bottled
good.
water. You can drink it at the tap. We meet and exceed drinking water standards. We're following all the criteria. There's nothing that says the drinking water will carry the virus. If you feel the need to stock water for an emergency, reuse that bottle and use your tap water. It's
Well
fine.
said.
So for those employees, those field crews in particular, we're alternating how they dispatch, where they dispatch from, alternating their start times to try to get some social distancing in them. We're still in the fields doing the work that we need to do to keep your services running. For those that can, we've been rapidly moving from an organization that has not teleworked to a teleworking. We've stretched our technology, and that team that's been able to do that has been phenomenal. And then, of course, our customer service reps, we did have to close the lobby. We're extending our customer service call center hours, and we're giving some social distancing and letting them spread out in the building if they're not able to telework. So we've got a multi-pronged approach. Safety of our customers and employees is top of mind.
What else would you like to add before I give a virtual snuggle to our pet of the week?
Oh, I can't wait. I want to thank the staff. They've been incredible as we've been navigating through these uncharted waters. And then importantly to the customers, please call us. I know it seems counterintuitive to call the utility that you're behind on your payment with, but we're here to help. And we're in this together. And as Mayor Woodards would say, as Tacomans come together, we'll make it through this together. We'll be stronger, and we'll still be the city of destiny.
Yeah, and we are the city of destiny, and we have, I always say, great citizens, because we're going to come together. So Jackie, I know that you are not resting a lot. This is a big time for all of you, and I just want to thank you so much for connecting your heart and mind and never forgetting about the people at home that TPU serves. I'm so grateful, and thank you for coming on here today.
Thank you, Amanda.
My pleasure.